Hi guys, 18 Dap here and welcome to this video, one that I did not expect to be making. It's my reaction to Darren Moores' departure. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this video, my reaction to Darren Moores' departure from Doncaster Rovers to Sheffield Wednesday. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome back, thank you for returning. If this video has brought you to the channel, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. In this video, we'll look at early speculation. It did start fairly early on, and then we'll have a look at the recent loss in form, what happened or how the news was dropped. Then I'll go over my thoughts on the whole situation. We'll have a quick look at the fans' reaction. I'll give you my thoughts on the impact that I think it may have for the rest of the season, and then we'll finish off with what the future holds for Doncaster Rovers. So, starting with early speculation, Darren Moore was linked with the Sheffield Wednesday job mid to late January. It was kind of in the middle of the Ben Whiteman saga before he moved to Preston, and I remember Darren getting asked the question in one of the post-match press conferences. He got asked about the Sheffield Wednesday job, and I remember him not ruling it out. Didn't want to kind of take the cards off the table or anything like that, and that raised a couple of red flags for me, that if a bigger job did come knocking, that Darren probably wouldn't hesitate in terms of going. And for me at that point, if it had completely ruled a move out, I'd have been a little bit more confident. But with that early speculation and the Ben Whiteman thing going on, I thought that if the board hadn't backed him the way that they did, potentially it could have gone near the end of January. But then things started to quieten down over February. We had that bad run of form, and I thought that that bad run of form had kind of extinguished any sort of attraction for him. How wrong we could be. That run of form has done nothing in terms of Darren Moore's stock, and he's still a wanted man. But yeah, things went quiet. Sheffield Wednesday still didn't have a manager, but I never thought that Darren Moore would be the one to take over. So yeah, it came as a bit of a shock, but I expected Darren leaving in the summer more than now. So I think the timing's more of a shock than the fact that Darren Moore's no longer our manager. Moving on to loss in form. As I mentioned, we've been on a horrible run over February. It was a bit of a season-defining month, and we've got a second season-defining month in March. So hopefully we turn it around, because we've not won a game in 5, and that is our worst run since November/December of 2019, where we lost 1-0 to Wickham in the league, 3-0 to Gillingham in the FA Cup, 3-0 to Leicester under-21s in the Papa John's Trophy, drew 1-1 to MK Dons in the league, lost 2-1 to Wimbledon also in the league, and then a 1-1 draw to Accrington in the league. So that was 6 games without a win. We're currently on 5. So hopefully Tuesday night, this video will have gone up the day after, so we'll know the result, but hopefully we've turned it around against Portsmouth. If not, hopefully we get the result against Plymouth on Saturday. But my thoughts are, could Darren have had his head turned a little bit like Ben Whiteman did in January? The speculation was there for another job, for a championship job. Were his thoughts elsewhere? I'd like to think no. In the press conferences and media coverage, he always seemed to be purely focused on the team and the next game and getting the best out of what he had. And I'd like to think that that was honest talk from Darren. But you never know. If a bigger job or a bigger opportunity is presenting itself, potentially your focus is not 100% on what you're currently doing, but maybe it goes hand in hand. The speculation from Sheffield Wednesday and then the running form could both go together. Your guess is as good as mine. on to when the news drops, so Monday morning, very early on. First thing I generally do when I wake up is quickly onto Twitter, have a quick scroll through, see what's happening, and to my shock, Liam Hoden had posted or tweeted, breaking, Darren Moore has left Doncaster Rovers to take over at Sheffield Wednesday. And my first thought was, it's the 1st of March, not the 1st of April, this must be serious stuff. Kept on scrolling, and lo and behold, Doncaster Rovers had issued a statement saying, following the departure of Darren Moores to Sheffield Wednesday, Doncaster Rovers can confirm that Andy Butler has been put in charge of managing the first team with immediate effect. And in that article, the chairman, David Blunt, has said a few words, and I think it echoes what the fans are thinking as well, or it echoes what I'm thinking personally, and that is that we're disappointed that Darren Moore has chosen to leave the club partway through what's been a season full of promise. We've made significant efforts to support Darren over the past 18 months to ensure he was able to build a team capable of challenging for the top 6. This has included supporting him through the past 2 transfer windows despite the difficult financial circumstances. So I think David Blunt's spot on there. Darren's had the opportunity to build his team his way. They've backed him, and I think he's kind of kicked them in the face with the way that he's gone. So a bit frustrated with that. The article goes on to say, our ambitions remain to achieve top 6, and we hope and expect that Andy will use time to put himself in prime position to secure the role on a permanent basis at the end of the season. Andy's first priority will be to halt the team's recent poor run of form and get our season back on track. So Andy's got a bit of a job on to turn it around, but the good thing is we've got the continuity. He knows the players, he knows the group, he knows the club. So hopefully he can hit the ground running. We will see Tuesday night. And then we had a look at the Sheffield Wednesday announcement breaking. We're delighted to announce the appointment of Darren Moore as our new first team manager. And in their article, it's kind of standard what you'd expect of an official Twitter page or a club's page to put out a little bit of background, a bit of history on the manager that they've put in charge. So the article reads, Moore moved into management in April 2018 with the Baggies on a caretaker basis and came close to saving his new Chargers from Premier League relegation against all odds, having taken the reins 10 points from safety. His first season in management was fantastic, so close to saving West Brom from the drop. He earned Manager of the Month for April as well, and his abilities that he showed in that first caretaker stint got him the full-time job in May of 2018, and West Brom's aim was to bounce straight back. And at the time where they cut ties with Darren Moore, they were sat in 4th, and from an outside point of view, it was a very surprising dismissal. Thought that he'd not been treated particularly fairly by West Brom, but when you look more at it, I think their expectation was top 2. Top 2 was starting to slip away, and at that point they decided to part ways. And from there, Darren moved to Doncaster in 2019, and he had a tough start with us. No two ways about it. Grant McCann left him with very little to work with in terms of a squad. A lot of players left, so Darren had to build something from nothing with not a great deal of time as well. And that first season with us did a fantastic job. We were 6 points shy of playoffs when the season got ended. We had a game in hand as well. So if the season hadn't been curtailed, who knows? We may have made playoffs for a second season running. But it is what it is. COVID put a stop to the season, and then we end up in this season. So this time around, we're smack bang in the playoff picture. We've got games in hand, and I'm bemused as to why he's left at this point. But he has left, and he started with the Wednesdays with immediate effect. And what a game they start with, Rotherham at Hillsborough. And as a Rovers fan, it's not very nice, but this is the only time I want Rotherham to win. So on to my thoughts for this whole thing. the whole departure. Honestly, I feel a little bit let down. I think there was a picture, there was a big picture and a project that I thought Darren would have seen through to at least the end of the season, and that's what's let me down personally. That is not stuck it out until the end of the season and seeing where it gets to, and then potentially moved on to a championship club, which I think he deserves. But I thought he'd have had the decency to stay at Donny until the end of the season. I thought he had a bit more about him. He comes across as a very nice guy in interviews and a very honest guy, and to up sticks and leave so quickly just doesn't sit right for me. Yeah, as I say, I thought he'd have stuck it out until the end of the season, but he hasn't. I feel that he's been disrespectful to the board, and what I mean by that is as David Blunt said, he's been backed for 18 months through transfer windows, through financial crisis, and again, I thought he'd have repaid that by at least getting to the end of the season and seeing where he could have taken Doncaster Rovers, be that playoffs automatic or failing to get top six. Now, football is a risk game. If it stuck it out till the end of the season and we did miss out on top six, potentially those offers from championship clubs wouldn't come. Personally, I think they would have. I think Darren's a good enough manager to manage at that level, but he may have missed the boat by sticking around, so possibly that swayed his decision to leave at this point. But for me, it is a very, very odd move. Talking to some Wednesday fans, Punk Chef, great YouTuber, I'll link his channel in the description down below. Talked to him on a Monday night on one of the podcasts, and all season he has just been saying how the club is in disarray from top to bottom. It is just a bit of a circus of a club, and that's coming from a Wednesday fan. And from a Rovers fan, outside looking in, it seems like Chansiri wants to control too much of the club. We've had it with Richardson back in the day, and it never ends well. I think he's had managers where he's wanted to pick the squad, pick who's coming in, and for me, Darren seems to be the kind of manager who wants to have a bit more control on his recruitment and pick the players that he wants and the style of play that he wants. I don't know if it's going to be a good fit with him and Chansiri. We will see. But yeah, it's a risky move because 6 points away from safety. There's plenty of games to go, but they just look a club in one direction, where Rovers, completely different trajectory. I think we're looking up. Wednesday's starting to slip down, but he may be the man to turn it around. We will see. But for me, very odd move, very risky move. Maybe Darren could see our season slipping with the current run of form, and as I say, opportunities only come at certain points in football, and maybe this is a time where that opportunity has come and he needs to take it before our season slips away and those offers are no longer on the table. And I've kind of touched on these. There's a lack of freedom at Sheffield Wednesday with Chansiri, and that's from an outsider looking in. I may be completely wrong, but it seems like there is a lack of freedom for management at Sheffield Wednesday. There's still very high expectations for the Owls. They're a massive club. There's no two ways about it. You can't get away from that. The fan base is huge. The history is huge. The setup is fantastic. They're a team, for an established championship team, pushing for Premiership, in my opinion. So the expectations are high. So I can see why he's gone. They're a much bigger club than Donny, but for me, like I say, the trajectories are in two very different directions. I'm just not happy with how he's gone. As I said earlier in the video, it'd be nice to see him see the season out and then go in the summer. But football is football. Can't predict it. Simply can't predict it. So I wish him all the best at Sheffield Wednesday. I think he was a great manager at the Rovers. Kind of a bit of a one-trick pony, if I'm going to be harsh. Very stuck with his philosophy and his style of play, even when it wasn't working. Very reluctant to switch it up tactically. And possibly that might help. In the Championship it might not. But in terms of the football that we played some good flowing football. Was it attacking football that I've seen banded around on social media? Not so much, I don't think. I thought we were very good from defence through midfield into attack. But I think that final product was lacking sometimes. So we'll see how he uses the players that Sheffield Wednesday have got and hopefully gets the best out of them. And if we're in the Championship next season, it's one of those. Do we hope that Hull and Wednesday slip or stay in League One, and then we're a little bit higher than Grant McCann and Darren Moore? Or do we hope that Hull and Wednesday stay in the Championship and we join them, and then it'll be some tasty games next season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, which one you'd prefer. So they were my thoughts. Now moving on to the fans' reaction. Bit of a mixed bag really of reactions. So starting with some Wednesday fans, we've got Daniel Sharp on Twitter. Not too happy with the appointment, saying we've waited all this time to deliver this. Very angry face emoji. We're a joke of a club, certainly preparing for League One with this appointment. I'm totally wounded by this news. Chansiri is officially off his head. So turning back to, or returning to what I said previously in the video, fans of Sheffield Wednesday not happy with the way that the club is run. But I think that's a little bit harsh on Darren Moore. I think, as I say, decent manager, should hopefully get the best out of the players that he's got there, but he's got to have the freedom to do that. Moving on, Alex Bennett, totally different approach to Daniel Sharp. He said, can't not support this appointment. We haven't had a genuinely likeable bloke in charge since Carlos. Even if we go down, he deserves an opportunity at building something in League One. Good luck, Mr. Moore. So Alex seems a bit happier with the appointment, but he's still expecting a relegation, which adds to my confusion as to why Darren Moore would move to Sheffield Wednesday, because of the downward trajectory that they're currently on. But slightly more positive Alex than Dan on the appointment of Darren Moore at Sheffield Wednesday. On to SWFC Fan 12 on Twitter. Very happy with the appointment. Really like this appointment. Good manager. Knows League One. Seems a really likeable guy when being interviewed. Credit where credit is due. Much better than some nobody out of work or a foreign manager or a foreign coach. Foreign coaches are decent, but Darren Moore does come across as very likeable. Word of warning, we fell for that. It could jump ship from Sheffield Wednesday should a bigger Championship club come knocking. We will just have to wait and see. And the departure of Darren Moore has also kind of ruffled the feathers of a lot of teams' fans who were in and around Donny in the playoffs. I've picked one, a Sunderland fan. Doesn't make sense this. He's left a promotion chasing team to join a team who are inevitably going to go down. Although it is good for all of us chasing for promotion, I think it's a bad move. So Ethan O'Neill, kind of in the same mind frame as what a lot of Donny fans are. You've gone from a team on the up to a team on the way down. Does he see Wednesday as a challenge to try and keep them in the league? If he does keep them in the league, it's only going to improve his stock in terms of a football manager. But pretty much fans of all clubs in and around us in the League One playoffs have now written us off. They're expecting our season to just peter out or just simmer back down to nothing. Hopefully Andy Butler can prove them wrong and we get on a decent run of form and start pushing for those top two, what we're still in with a chance of getting. On to a couple of Rovers fans. So Andrew Jackson, no time to dwell on what's done, even though it seems to have come out of the blue or out of nowhere. Let's get behind Andy Butler. Some crucial games coming up. Got to agree with you there, Andy. We can't change the decision that's being made. Darren Moore's gone to Sheffield Wednesday. We've seen it before with Dean Saunders going to Wolves. It is what it is. I'm sure Andy Butler will do a fantastic job, or I hope he does. His fate is in his hands, really. There are some very crucial games coming up. Plymouth, Portsmouth this week. And then we've got plenty coming up towards the end of the season. So our season's going to go one or two ways. Well, I'll go on to that in a little while. Moving on to David George Kane. We'll be sorry to see the big man leave, but who can blame him? Thanks for his service and hopefully a boost for Rovers coffers from Wednesday. So yeah, I agree with that. We've got some money from the Wednesdays for them taking Darren, a significant six-figure sum. So potentially that will go to boosting the squad in the summer. It could go to getting players who are currently out of contract at the end of the year onto contracts. We need to do that as soon as possible. We don't want to see any players going to the Wednesdays. But yeah, a club in our position, the money is needed and managers come and go. We will move on. But for me, the tweet that needs much more love is from Matt Alexander. Simple picture. This was pretty much everybody on Monday morning. Quick sip of coffee, reading the tweet. Oh, bloody hell. Came completely out of the blue. That tweet made me chuckle. But yeah, that needs much more love than what it's got. So yeah, confusion from the Rovers fans more than anything. I've not seen too much in terms of anger or abuse directed at Darren Moores for leaving. There's been a bit, but I think the majority of fans understand his reasons for leaving. If somebody came to me, offered me twice as much money for the same job that I'm doing, I'd take it. Don't see why it's any different in football. The timing, though, has rubbed a lot of Rovers fans up the wrong way, including myself. On to what I think the impact of the season is going to be. So looking at the league table, when Darren left, this will more than likely have changed by the time this video goes up. We currently sit in 6th with 2 games in hand over all teams above us, 4 games in hand over Hull, and we're on 49 points. So if we win our 2 games in hand, it will leapfrog us above Sunderland and Portsmouth into 4th, and then that puts on 55 points. So we'd be 2 points behind Lincoln, 6 points behind Peterborough. They are flying at the minute, but we've seen you can be flying in this league and then hit a tough patch and then it just pulls it all back in nice and tight. So I don't expect Peterborough to continue pushing on as they are. Twists and turns in this season still to come. If we win the 2 games in hand that we've got over Hull, we'll be 4 points in front of them, I believe. 5 points, 4 or 5 points in front of them. So we're still well in the mix. It's just getting our form turned around. Looking up, we can also look down. If our form doesn't turn around, I can see us falling into mid-table. So at the minute, we do need this form turning around. We are currently the worst form team in the league, 1 point out of 15. The other 2 teams, I believe it's Northampton and Rochdale. I may be wrong on that, but there's 2 teams who've got 2 points out of the last 15. So yeah, worst form in the league at the minute. That needs turning around. And this, for me, is going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to galvanise the squad and we're going to push on and hopefully support Andy Butler, put all the effort in that they've been putting in anyway. And we see that form turn around. We've got the squad with the ability to put performances out and get results. This could just be that shot in the arm that's needed to get our season back on track, or it could go the completely other way, and we could see our season flicker out, and I could see us finishing around 11th to 14th. But Andy Butler, as we say, fate in his own hands. Let's see how he takes on to management. And that leads me on to the future. So Andy Butler is magic. The song says it all. Hopefully he can work his magic and get us into the Championship come the end of the season, either via automatics or the playoffs. Either way, I'm not too fussed. A Donny lad, he said that he's going to put his all into the club. So for me as a fan, I'm going to give my all in terms of supporting him. He's not asked for the job. He's been asked to go into the job. So I think as fans we've got to support him all the way, and just see where the season takes us. Expectations, I don't think we should have any. Although the board have said that they're still wanting top 6, I think we should just see where this season goes now. If we finish mid-table, we finish mid-table. If we get promoted, we get promoted. Happy days. Let's just enjoy the ride. But yeah, it's great opportunity for Andy Butler. As I've said before, his fate's in his own hands. If he gets the team playing, if he gets the results, the job could be his in the summer if he wants it. But if it goes the other way, then he's kind of talking his way out of the managerial position. So yeah, great opportunity for Andy Butler, and I'm hoping that he gets us playing attractive football, but with the end product. I think Darren Moores built a squad that can play attractive football, but we're just lacking in the final third. Hopefully Andy Butler gets us firing on all cylinders at the top end of the pitch. In terms of speculation for a new manager, I'm not at all interested. Don't care about it one bit. The board have said that Andy's got the job until the end of the season. I don't want 2 or 3 months of thinking, oh, is it going to be this person, is it going to be this person? I just don't care. Just support Andy Butler until the end of the season, and then let the football merry-go-round happen over the summer, and we'll see if Andy Butler gets a job or if somebody else does, and then that's when I'll be interested in the speculation. But until the end of the season, my energy focused on supporting Andy Butler and the boys, hopefully leading us to the championship. We will see. I'm sure there's going to be many more twists and turns come the end of the season, and like I say, I think as Rovers fans we've just got to enjoy the ride. And to finish off, the Black Bank posted a perfect image, a perfect bit of text for me, not just for the Rovers but for every club in every country, and it reads: players, managers, club officials and owners will come and go, but fans will stay forever. It is us who are the true custodians of a club. Some of us received it from our parents, grandparents, while others fell in love with this club before falling in love with the person. A player can move to another club, managers can resign, club officials can leave, owners can sell, but the fans stay at the club forever. We carry this love for the club with us to our grave. Perfect. We've seen our captain Ben Whiteman leave, we've seen the manager leave, we'll see many more players come and go, we'll see many more managers come and go, but we're here for the club, supporting the club, and hopefully we can continue doing that to the end of the season, get fans back in the ground and show our support properly. So yeah, disappointing to see Darren Moore go, disappointing with the way that he's gone. I understand the reasons why he's gone, doesn't make it feel any better, but as fans we'll keep coming, we'll keep supporting. And that is where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it, please. Comment in the section down below, let me know your thoughts on the Darren Moore departure. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.